Scorpio darling, welcome back to the channel and welcome to your March 2021 tarot and astrology reading. The astrology portions of this video will resonate more if you're Scorpio rising, but you may notice some themes if you are Scorpio sun or moon, so make sure to watch your other signs. It would help me out a lot. And the tarot portion is basically for Scorpio, so it may relate to any of you that have Scorpio energy. Take what resonates, leave the rest. It's a general reading, don't forget that. So let's get into it. All right, so basically Scorpio, March 2021 is a interesting ass month here. We have Mars moving into the sign of Gemini. You know, it's been in your 7th house for a while, so really the last 2 months of 2021. So there's been a major focus on your relationships, your commitments, you know, what you are doing in your relationships or your commitments. Also, possible agreements and negotiations. So, you know, maybe you've had a lot of changes come up in that area. Maybe you've been pretty dedicated in that area. Maybe your partner has been pretty busy or had a lot going on. Maybe, you know, there's been possibly some arguments or disagreements or some conflict or opposition in your life from other people with Mars in your 7th. Those are some things that you could have noticed over the last 2 months or so. But now that Mars is moving into your 8th house, which happens on March 3rd through March 4th, you could notice possibly a lot of themes coming up with resources, finances, money that you owe or money that's owed to you, business, services, or also even like shared resources or finances. So resources or finances that you possibly share with another person, a partner even, or your partner's money or resources in some way. Now, a lot of this, you know, this house can deal with debt, the taboo, the occult, you know, things that we're karmically here to resolve in some way as well. So these are some things that you could be noticing with Mars moving into your 2nd house, or I'm sorry, your 8th house for the next 2 months. So definitely watch out for those themes starting this month. Now you could be very driven or motivated here to pay off things that you owe, to get your finances in order, to make investments, to make more money from other people or with other people's money in some way, or to you know, do something business related as well. You're definitely going to be focusing on these things, on how to fulfill yourself, basically. And this month, you know, we have a lot going on in Pisces, and Pisces for you is your 5th house sector of love, romance, children, joy, you know, where you find your happiness, where you find your joy, where you find your creativity or your hobbies, you know, things like this. So you're going to notice definitely a lot of themes coming up there. So some particular dates on the 4th, Mercury is going to conjunct Jupiter in your 4th house sector of home, family, real estate, land, property, your personal life. So there could be some announcement, news, information that comes in, or something that you learn about that comes in to do with your home and your family, or your personal life in some way. You know, it's Jupiter, so it likely could be benefic depending on how it's aspecting your chart. But there's definitely some kind of news or expansion coming in there with that 4th house sector on the 4th. And then on the 12th to 13th, we have the Pisces New Moon. So this is definitely planting some seeds with that 5th house energy I was talking about. Love, fun, pleasure, romance, children. You know, this house is very fortunate, so there could definitely be some fortunate things that come in around that time for that Pisces new moon, or you could be planting some kind of seeds for some kind of new beginning around that time. Possibly some kind of new project, or you know, possibly maybe spending some time with somebody that you love, or going on a date or something like that. So around the 20th, the Sun and Venus will start moving into Aries, which is, you know, your house of work and daily routine, health, your schedules, all of those types of different things, what you do on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, towards the end of the month, the focus will start shifting to that. So that's something that you want to watch out for, themes that you're going to start noticing towards the end of the month. And then on the 28th, we have a Libra full moon. And this Libra full moon is going to be for for you in your 12th house. So you may notice some things coming up from the past around that time. You may notice some closures, ending, something rebalancing itself out, possibly even like relationships coming back from the past, or things that need to be ended or closed out in some way. And we'll talk more about that in the Libra full moon video, but let's go ahead and start going over your cards here. So your first card is Trust Yourself, very interesting. And then right after that, we have Be the Hunter, Not the Hunted, very powerful. So I feel like here, Scorpio, there's something that, and I hate to say it, but I kind of feel like you've been holding yourself back from something, or in this victim mentality. And I hate to say it, I know people do not like hearing that about themselves, but that's what I'm getting. And don't get me wrong, like, you could have definitely been a victim. Someone could have done you really shitty. That's not what I'm saying. You know, you can't necessarily help the things that happen to you that are out of your control. But I will say you can choose what to do with it, you know? So even if you are like a real victim here, I'm definitely not victim shaming, but even if you are a real victim here, it does not help to stay in that mindset, because then you are giving somebody else the power by blaming them, or by constantly, you know, feeling bad about it or whatever happened, you know. And then what that does is give that, you're saying that they have the power to fix you if they apologize, or that somebody else or something else or some other event is the only thing that can fix you, when really you can fix you, you can heal you, you have that power, and that's how you take the power back. I have a shit ton of Scorpio energy, so that is basically what Scorpio is all about to me, and in my experience, is turning your pain into power. And that's basically what I see here. Learning to trust yourself more, starting to listen to yourself more and not go against yourself, you know, not allow yourself to be stepped all over, or, you know, whatever the case may be, not allow yourself to be stuck in a mindset of not being able to do anything without something or someone else. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Now, we also have free from judgment, free to love. So I do see a lot opening up here for you this month when it comes to working on some fears of the past, or working on some traumas from the past, that can really set you free, or that could really pay off and allow you to feel more fortunate, more benefic in some way, shape, or form. You know, to open up your heart a little bit more, and to not close it off so much because of things that have happened to you in the past, you know. And then we also have listening for truth. So, you know, I really feel like, Scorpio, maybe you've been in a state of mind where you haven't wanted to hear anybody else's opinion, or you haven't been, you've been kind of sticking to your own guns, if that makes sense. Like, you've been kind of like, okay, like, I get it, I don't need this. But this is like, look, this month you need to open up, you need to open up your mind and stop being stubborn and figure the truth out, because the reason that you need to do this is because you don't trust yourself. And this is because you've been somehow almost like gaslighting your own self in some way. And so this is where you have to start listening to the truth, and for the truth, you know what I mean? Instead of jumping to conclusions or assuming things, etc., etc. And this card has been coming up for a lot of the signs, which tells me that a lot of this Pisces energy and a lot of this Mars and Gemini energy may stir up a lot of things that aren't true. So this is where I think that you need to be careful with that. So anyways, we have the 6 of Coins here for your first card, and the 9 of Wands. So I'm really getting that you're going to be very motivated or determined to start possibly balancing out your finances, or to do something with business, selling of services or exchange of services in some way. You're being very motivated to somehow balance out some kind of money or resources in your life this month. You're really going to start feeling that. You're going to be very determined. You're also going to start being a little bit more cautious, or you need to be a little bit more cautious, I should say, with your spending and, you know, financial matters in general, definitely here. Because then we have the 4 of Cups and the Tower, and this really goes into what I was saying about you're so focused on the past that you're not seeing what's right in front of you. And this month, it's like you may have a major breakthrough with that. It's time to change the way that you've been handling things, the way that you've been emotionally dealing with things or mentally dealing with things. Because, or I'm sorry, this is the 5 of Cups, not the 4 of Cups, but you're so focused on the past that you are not seeing what's right in front of you now. And you're not allowing yourself to change your mindset on it either, which is keeping you stuck there in some way. Or you're focused on some kind of disappointment or guilt or shame. And the Tower is coming through like, no, bitch, like it's time to shake yourself out of that shit. It's time to move on here. So we also have the Page of Wands and the 9 of Cups here, which is really beautiful energy. So this tells me you finally start moving forward. You start exploring, getting out of your comfort zone, and you possibly start doing something that is going to emotionally fulfill you, or find something that you're passionate about that's going to emotionally fulfill you as well. So then we have the 3 of Cups and the Moon. Ooh. This is very interesting. This could go a few different ways. This could be some kind, I don't know. I don't know if you're witchy or what, or you're going to be doing some kind of ritual, or maybe doing something with a few people or a few friends that's kind of taboo or different, or dreamy, or whatever the case may be. But basically, another way that this could go, that these 2 cards really remind me of, is gossip and lies. So be careful that you're not believing everything, and that really goes with listening for truth here. There could be some deception going on amongst some people, so definitely watch out for that. I would say that would be more towards mid to end month, okay, just to give you kind of a time frame here. So yeah, and then because after that things get a little bit weird, we have the Hanged Man, we have the 7 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Swords. So once again, you're kind of stuck between some kind of fear or surrender and sticking up for yourself, going against the odds here. And it's interesting because this comes right after this 3 of Cups and the Moon card. So be careful, because whatever that is, could put you in a situation that you really don't want to be in. And it could involve you maybe needing to stand up for yourself or somebody else, even though the odds are against you, or feeling stuck and not being able to. But there's definitely some kind of like oppressive energy here where you're feeling held back or something like that. And so once again, that's why it's kind of like, I think it's interesting that we got be the hunter and not the hunted. So definitely let me know how that goes. We also have the Strength card ending this, which is really good. So I'm glad we have this kind of ending the reading. We also have the 2 of Wands at the bottom. So it's kind of like, look, like the choice is yours, and whatever you get into is going to definitely build your confidence and strength this month. It's definitely about facing some kind of fear. So I feel like whatever is happening here, you need to face the fear. That's what this is about. You need to face the fear so the fear is not controlling you, and that's how you gain your confidence and start feeling more aligned with yourself. So hopefully that made sense, Scorpio. It may not yet, since if you're watching this in the beginning of the month still, but definitely let me know how it ends up playing out for you. I'd really like to know. And yeah, definitely go follow me on my other social medias to keep up with me, and watch your other signs as well to get more of a bigger picture of what's going on. And I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.